I feel like I left a few out there in the green, so definitely got a little bit of work to do as I move into tomorrow.
Let's have a look. Let's look at some of the makes. There's your name in lights.
There we go.
Here we go. First one of the day.
Like I said, I mean, the greens were a nice speed, so, you know, you really, quite a lot of grain in them as well. So you really had to use the grain to try and feel the reads.
This 12th hole. One of the things I've noticed about these at how good your proximity was, you were hitting it close.
Yeah, I hit it. Actually, my iron play was pretty on point all day, and like I said, kind of a second ago, I felt like I made a couple of these that I certainly shouldn't have made, and then I missed probably 3 or 4 kind of inside 8 feet that I felt like I should have made. I actually finished off by missing from about 2 feet on my last hole today, but you know, they're ultra pure.
That one's centre cup. How much did Ken help you on those greens?
You know, it's funny, Kenny typically doesn't really read the greens much for me.
Let's have a look.
But I got him to help me on the greens today, and you know what? He was on form. He's on form. Typically, I give Kenny, my caddy, I'll give him a little look at it. You know, early on in the week, I'll let him read a couple, and typically he just gets benched. That's him done for the rest of the weekend, and he gets just to hang out. But you know, I felt like I wasn't seeing them super well early on in the round today, so I kind of pulled Ken in, and I felt like he was seeing them really well. So that kind of helps me commit to my lines, commit to my reads. But, you know, one of the big things we kind of worked on in practice a couple of days ago, I really felt like last week in Mayakoba, I struggled on my left riders a little bit. And something I've been working on my putting is I've been kind of setting my body first to the line and then setting the putter head second. And I felt like on my right-lefters, I was really aligning myself very well. But for some reason, on my left-right putts, I didn't feel like I was lined up very well. So we did a bit of work on it a couple of days ago, and I felt like my lower body was very open and my upper body was kind of shut, so I wasn't seeing down the line very well. And, you know, alignment and setup, as you know, is so key to how you align the putter head. If you're in great position, you know, you can look down that line and align the putter head really well. But if you get like out of shape, your eyes and the putter head are just not kind of in sync, and you don't really align the putter head very well. So something I worked on was really trying to set the putter head down first on my line, make sure I get my lower body a little bit more shut, and then just balance up my upper body. And I really felt like that helped me today on my left riders.
And that is all routine you're talking about there, GMAC. How important is routine in putting?
Yeah, routine's huge in putting. You know, we were talking about putters. I mean, I've been using this same putter for actually 18 years. You know, Odyssey pop the face out and pop a new one in every now and again. But, you know, for me, you know, putting's been one of the more consistent parts of my game for the last 15 years. And routine's really important, you know. Like for me, I'll talk you through my routine real quick. But, you know, back here, I nearly feel like I'm trying to visualize the putt. I'm trying to visualize speed because obviously, you know, you can't have a read without speed. You know, so sometimes I'll come back here, I'll nearly kind of feel like I'm throwing the ball down the line. I'm trying to see. I kind of putt in curves. I'm not really a guy. Sometimes if you ask me on a breaking putt where I was aimed, I really wouldn't know sometimes, but because I see the curve and I see kind of where the ball enters the hole. So like here, I'm seeing this putt entering kind of 7:30 on the clock face, if you like, and then I try and just match my, you know, come here, set the putter head to match that entry point of the hole. Feel my speed. So I look at the hole. Something I'm trying to teach my little 7-year-old boy at the minute. You know, when he's having his practice strokes, the target tells you everything you need to know. So you're really looking at that hole, trying to feel the pace, feel the speed, and then really try and get in over the ball. Repeat what you just saw.
Something I love about your putting and your setup is it almost seems like you get the toe down initially. How much does that help the strike? It's something I teach my students. For
sure. You know, I love the whole kind of like, you know, like you say, high hands, like Steve Stricker, you know, one of the greatest putters probably ever, and, you know, for a long time. And for me, what it does, I feel like it kind of locks my wrists in, and it kind of helps me, kind of have more of that big muscle putting stroke rather than kind of handsy and armsy. So I kind of feel like if I get my hands high, that locks my forearms in, and I try and putt with my upper body a little bit more. So I think it's a good way to putt.
I'm going to set the scene. You get to Las Vegas Country Club, and you've got to get acclimatized to the greens. What process do you go through to help with pace, green reading?
Yeah, I mean, so something I do in practice rounds, I mean, it's unusual. I mean, I'm a big ball roller. So when I'm in a practice round, I'll visualize some of the pin positions, and I'll kind of roll, I'll roll balls, and I write down what I see. Typically typically the ball will react exactly how my eye sees the putt, but every now and again I'll roll a ball and I'll go, hold on, that did something a little weird. And I'm visualizing pin positions. This is the party hole, the 8th hole. I'm assuming we're going to have a back left pin one day, so I roll and I kind of visualize some of the lines, and that really just kind of helps me come the weekend. And then I keep a library of these books. My caddy Kenny does over the years, sort of like a little putt library, of rolls and putts that I've hit, and that really helps me dial into the greens a little bit. Sometimes when you come to a new golf course, you may be looking for like a general pull of the land. We talked about the grain in the greens this week. Depending on what surfaces, what type of grasses, what the general pull of the land is, there's just many ways to read putts. And on a week-to-week basis, you have to decide which it is. Like I say, grain's quite a big this week, I feel like, and I'll continue to really be looking for the grain on the greens to help me read these.
And how do you judge that? It's so hard sometimes to, know how much it's going to break, how much the grain's going to come into play. Have you got any tips on that?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, if you read a putt and, your eye sees left, right, and then you come to the low side and you look and you see it very dark, and the grass is coming this way, so you've got slope and you've got grain going down the slope, so you probably have to read a little bit more into that. I had a couple of reads today where I felt like I saw one thing, but the grain was slightly the other way. That's the worst. You're like, no.
When you see one thing and it does the absolute
Yeah, exactly.
opposite.
So typically you have to try and then straighten out your read a little bit, go with the initial pull, but know that the grain's going to hold it up a little bit. So it really comes with skill and experience and just kind of being around the world and seeing different types of conditions, different types of situations. And, luckily I've holed a few good putts over the years. I need to hold
US Open, beat Tiger, you're being modest.
I've holed a few okay ones, but I need to hold a few more good ones this weekend so I can try and compete here. And great day for Smash, obviously part of the team, part of the boys. Really happy the way I played today, and looking forward to getting back at it tomorrow. Like I say, I felt like I left a few on the greens today, and I can definitely see some low scores out here this weekend.
Well, we love watching you see you play really well. So, string lines, T-pegs, do you do any drills like that?
Yeah, so I'm a round-the-clock guy. I like T-pegs, and Jeff Pierce, who's Brooks Koepka's putting coach right over here, he actually helped me dial in my kind of round-the-clock drill this week. Instead of putting to a hole, we just went putting to a tee, just to try and really dial in, my focus and my starting lines. So 6 tees around, 3-4 feet, just a tee in the middle, and really just trying to, instead of making 6 in a row into a hole, trying to hit that tee 6 times in a row. So just dial in the starting lines, dial in the alignment a little bit. To me, Brooks Koepka is probably one of the best putters in the world right now, and I was trying to get some information off Jeff, his coach, which is the great thing about LIV Golf.
What did you get, G-Mac? Give us some gold.
Yeah, like I say, just putting to that tee. They really don't use the hole much from inside 10 feet. Putting to tees. And like I say, I think one of the great things about LIV is that we get to operate as a team. We get to learn from each other, being around guys like Taylor Gooch, who won 3 times last year, Jason Kokrak, who's a world-class player, and obviously Brooks, 5-time major champion. You're trying to just soak little nuggets from them. Obviously, I've been around a long time myself. I feel like I know a thing or two about a thing or two, but you're always, this is a beautiful thing about the game of golf. You're always trying to be better. You're always trying to learn. You're always trying to, pick something up from the best players in the world. And, the beauty of LIV is that little team element where, you just operate, as a team, and you try and make each other better.
Let's see one more.
One more.
And then, G-Mac, very special. We're going to get you to rate some swings
Okay,
quickly after.
swing rating.
But let's see you roll the rock.
Okay, let's see.
We've got a 10-footer here.
Get the putter head down, line that correctly, shut my lower body down, square my upper body.
Oh, he doesn't miss.
I need to make some more of those.
Save them. Right, where is the monitor? We need to rate some swings. Where is the monitor? I want to see another one. The monitor's gone missing.
Okay. I need to do a bit of work on these anyway, so I'm happy
keep
enough
going.
here.
So another thing I notice is ball position. It is directly below your sternum.
Yeah. So, I think, like we talked about earlier, alignment and setup, where your eyes are positioned, really dictates how you align the putter head and see down the line. So, you know, I think everyone's ball position, you know, everyone's a little unique, a little different. One of the great things about putting is there's 100 different ways to do it. You know, just look around the putting green. So many different ways to do it. But, yeah, for me, I like my ball position slightly forward of center. I like my eyes slightly inside the ball. I like to try and keep my head as still as I can. Let that putter head just work.
That's another bit of gold I teach my students. You throw a dart inside the line, so exactly that. Get your eye line
I just
inside.
have never seen a great putter in the world have his eyes beyond the ball.
Yeah.
To me, it's always on the ball or even on the inside of the ball.
So you can see that line better. Right, are you ready to rate some swings?
Well,
Be kind, okay?
Of course, of course. Let's
We're gonna
go,
have to
here we
get
go.
close.
The Supcan 74. Ooh, that's not bad.
That was all right,
A
wasn't
little over the top, but I mean, it doesn't go left from there. This makes it, see, let me see. I like that move. That's a good move. Keep
it?
doing
Matches
that.
the face, he's good.
More of that.
Happy days.
Uh-oh, posture issue here. This guy needs to stand up a little taller. Ooh, yeah. He ended up nice and tall, but I think he needs to start a little taller, get those hands a little higher. Yeah, okay. Posture, fix that. A little
Close your
slump.
eyes, G-Man.
Here we
Ooh,
go.
what's this one?
This is an interesting driving wrench. I'm not sure I've got that shot, I gotta be honest with you. Spency Hustle. It's a good looking golf swing, actually.
That gives me anxiety doing it in your front
We
room.
don't want to know where this ball landed most likely, but that was on point. That was on point. Oh, here we go. A little lifty in the backswing, but I like it. I like it. I got a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old who are, you know, hitting a lot of balls right now, so I love seeing kids fall in love with the game. Get after it. Get after it. Doesn't matter what it looks like right now. Hit it hard, hit it far, and we'll figure the rest out later. That's kind of what I try and tell my kids.
You've got all the gold dust today. Thank you so much for sharing so many nuggets, and keep playing great. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, no, thanks, Rachel, and look forward to having a good weekend. Thank you.
Cheers, G-Man.